The Millennial Generation by Ashley Frederick, Victoria Tillery, and Iris Trejo for Counseling 7132 Contemporary College Student. So, who are millennials? Well, millennials are anyone who was born in 1980 to 1999. This generation is statistically the most diverse generation. 60% of this population classifies as non-Hispanic white, compared to 72% of the baby boomer generation. This generation is also considered multitasker extraordinaire. However, research shows that millennials do not necessarily do many things at one time, but instead they switch back and forth between tasks very quickly. And also, 75% of this age group have created a profile on social media or networking sites. The U.S. millennial population. According to the U.S. Chamber Foundation, the U.S. millennial population is currently at 80 million plus, making this the largest generation population to date. Millennials in education. The millennial generation has a graduation rate of 72%, the highest of all other generations. Millennials view education as a necessary and expensive consumer good. Millennials are working towards becoming the most educated generation in history. This generation desires a clearly structured academic path, and professors have also experienced millennials challenging them on grades and relevance of assignments. Next, let's talk about millennials in the workplace. Millennials in the workplace. This generation works best with clear guidelines, frequent and immediate feedback, clarity, and independence. Millennials also demand work-life balance, and this influences their choices on career and jobs. So, how companies adjust to manage millennials in the workplace. Employers of millennials must often adjust their management methods, including training, supervision, and communication. It is important for these companies to find successful methods to professionally grow these individuals. Many employers do this by various usage of technology, especially with this generation. Often training is based off multiple learning styles. Managers and supervisors find themselves finding new and innovative ways to communicate with such staff, including being open to new ideas and initiatives, recognizing that millennials desire meaningful work and opportunities to grow and develop professionally. It is vital for employers to establish open, strong, and personable bonds with this generation. So, why is it impactful for companies to keep millennials in mind? Millennials are high in number in the workforce, being new leaders, obtaining higher degrees than older generations. This generation is much more diverse ethnically and desire inclusion and diversity. Millennials' interest in the workplace. Millennials value many job features and what is offered to them professionally. This includes compensation, especially based off degree. They also hold high the value of availability in training and career development. Lastly, they see significant in job content and their professional interest in the job assignments. Millennials' trends in the workplace. Millennial trends in the workplace. These individuals are often considered job hoppers, not staying in the same position or company for a long term, as Generation X or baby boomers would have been. They often retire from numerous years in the same position. Many millennials consider jobs as stepping stones to long-term careers, and in the meantime desire to grow professionally. They are very open to new tasks or job duties, often completely different from their last. This generation also enjoys being a team player while also having freedom to work autonomously. So they often seek positions that will allow them to do this. Millennials value work-life balance and work hard to develop strong relationships with their team and superiors. In conclusion of this slide, millennials are likely to be highly affected by socialization, globalization, communication, information technologies, and economics. This generation is intensely expected to have broader perspectives about the world regarding the workforce, supervisor-employee relationships, cultural diversity, high performance, and digital ways to communicate in the information technology age. Millennials are constantly attempting to enhance organizational performance and can be known to maximize productivity. So, what about other factors that influence millennials? Well, millennial high school students are more likely than past generations to be involved in community service and after-school events. However, many millennial students are sheltered by their parents. Student-parent relationship. Everyone has pretty much heard of helicopter parents. These parents tend to do everything for their children. 9 out of 10 children reported high levels of closeness with their parents, and students are happy with this relationship. Some companies report establishing relationship with parents of their millennial employees. So, this relationship can even go with the millennial to their professional career. So, why so close? Why are parents so protective of their children? One reason is that there has been an increase of hours spent parenting, both from fathers and mothers. This could be because more parents have a higher education and can spend less time working. Also, social media plays a major role in why parents and millennials tend to be very close. So what is the social media influence? Well, millennial students use social media as their main form of communication with peers and parents. There is a higher sense of community with the rest of the world since we can update in a second on what is happening in another continent. This leads to parents fearing for their children's future and wanting to keep them protected. So, tragic events that have influenced millennials. The 9/11 terrorist attack was a major event that many millennial students remember. Social media gives millennial students instant access to tragic events like the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, the Paris attacks, Colorado theater, and Orlando shooting. The instant access builds a sense of closeness to people suffering and a sense that today's society is unsafe. In college, millennial students are less likely to major in business or science and are more likely to study social science or applied fields. Also, college students are less likely to have a job while in college. This led to a decline in labor market participating among 16 to 24-year-olds. While it is good for students to focus on their grades, it might put them in a position to seek student loans. The total student outstanding loan debt has become the second largest category of household debt. With the millennial population being one of the biggest cohorts of people in the United States, it is becoming more and more imperative that employers, educators, and others take time to learn and understand this group of people. Thank you.